welcome to Kenyatta National Hospital. My name is Dr. William Sigilai. I am the acting Chief Executive Officer of Kenyatta National Hospital. And we are here to make this press statement as we had planned right from the beginning. Let me start by saying that we have the permission of the family to make this statement, especially when we are going to use his real names, the deceased person's real names, and also share some aspects of his medical history and diagnosis. And so the management of Kenyatta National Hospital wishes to address the unfortunate and tragic incident involving the late Mr. Gilbert Kinyua, who was under our care. We extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, loved ones during this very difficult time. We are committed to providing the family with all the necessary support and to support the ongoing investigations surrounding the incident. Mr. Kinyua was referred to KNH from St. Mary's Hospital in Langata on the 11th of December last year, 2024. He was admitted to our ward 7B on 7th floor, which specializes in the management of nervous system disorders, also known as neurological disorders. We wish to clarify that this ward is not a mental health ward, as has been erroneously reported in some quarters. Upon admission on the 11th of December last year, it was noted that Mr. Kinyua had developed pressure sores resulting from a period of prolonged immobility before coming to Kenyatta. And after a comprehensive evaluation by our specialists in that unit, he was diagnosed with a rare condition that causes weakness of all his muscles. His condition was particularly severe, affecting all his limbs and therefore making movement difficult. He therefore required what we call total nursing care, which includes tube feeding. Despite the severity of his condition, his status had remained stable under our care until that particular day. On Thursday, the 6th of February, 2025, Mr. Kinyua's condition was observed to be stable, and the day proceeded as normal. The night shift team took over without noting any undue concerns on the eve of this incident. The nursing staff attended to him in a scheduled manner at 9 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m., and during all those visits, nothing undue or unusual was observed. However, on Friday morning, at approximately 6 a.m. or thereabout, during the nurses' ward round, Mr. Kinyua was found with his face covered with a blood-stained sheet. Upon the nurse uncovering to check on him, the nurse discovered that this person was motionless with a deep cut on the frontal aspect of his neck. The nurse, immediately sensing something bad had happened, alerted her colleagues in the ward, the security personnel, the attending doctor, and then the hospital management. The area was immediately cordoned off as a crime scene, and the DCI was notified. And the DCI responded promptly and took took charge of the investigation process. We then alerted the next of kin according to our protocol and asked them to come to hospital. We assembled a team of psychologists, counselors, and in order to break the news and provide support to the family. And recognizing the profound grief and trauma experienced by the family, we established a 24-hour helpline to offer ongoing psychological support to the family. And a second counseling session was held yesterday, which a much larger group of family members, the immediate family and the extended family members. Kenyatta National Hospital is cooperating fully with the law enforcement agencies and is committed not to prejudice the ongoing investigations. The post-mortem examination of the deceased body will be conducted as scheduled and guided by the DCI. KNH has an elaborate security system which includes CCTV cameras in common areas. Additionally, we have officers from the National Police Service stationed within the hospital, and we also do have a police post within a short distance of the hospital perimeter. In light of this incident, we have heightened and enhanced security measures across the hospital to ensure the safety of more than 1,800 patients who are in our care, as well as all the visitors who come to the hospital. The KNH management is deeply saddened by this tragic event and remains committed to transparency and accountability throughout the investigation process. The KNH, we assure the public that we are taking all necessary steps to prevent such incidents in the future. We urge the public to allow the DCI to conduct its investigations without interference and to refrain from speculation that may cause further distress to the family. Once again, we extend our heartfelt sympathy to the family of the late Mr. Gilbert Kinyua Muthoni. We stand with them during this painful time and will continue to provide all the necessary support. Thank you very much.
Patient being stabbed to death at KNH. When the first incident happened, we came here and we were told the same lines that you heighten security cannot or it cannot be allowed to happen again. Two, it raises a serious security question, and that is, in every ward there are nursing stations. How is it that an intruder walked past all that, the security that is in this facility, past the nursing stations, went to the ward, stabbed someone, and you would assume that he would have screamed and no one heard him screaming. And I mean, it's just hard to understand how this happened. Can you let us know, were there any security lapses during that time? Were there nurses on the nursing station, or was there a complete lapse of security?
Thank you for your question. Let me state that at this point in time, we actually do not have evidence that anybody walked in and committed a crime, and committed the said crime. We know for a fact that the patient was murdered in the ward. We've handed over the matter to the DCI. There is every chance that this person did not walk in the manner you've described, but we trust the DCI to unravel the mystery, and knowing their mandate and their capacity and their training, we trust them to unravel the mystery. With respect to the previous incident in 2015, 10 years ago, which was the first one on record in the more than 130 years of Kenyatta National Hospital's existence, that matter is still in court. It has never been concluded. we learned a lot of lessons from that incident. We compared to 2015, we have enhanced our security measures many-fold. We have many more security officers today compared to that time. We have many more CCTV cameras than we did that time. And let me add also that in that period of time, the hospital has grown larger in terms of expansion with more and more departments to offer the specialized services that we are mandated to offer. And this therefore means that our security concerns have also increased in tandem with that. We have many more visitors than before. And Mary, let me state that on an average day we receive more than 30,000 patients, visitors to our patients. And on a normal day, we are worried about the patient's welfare, especially the illness that brings them to hospital. Our number one enemy is the disease. We're always dealing with disease and all aspects of disease. It is beginning to emerge that there are a few elements that have such heinous intentions that can actually harm the patient. So we have, in short, we have enhanced. We are not oblivious to the needs to protect the patient from, especially from external threats, but there is also a possibility of internal threats. And even in regard to this incident, we are heightening the security measures to the best of our ability to secure the wards and to secure the installation itself as well as the patients who are within. Thank you.
Just to clarify, Dr. when you say that you have no evidence at this point that whoever committed the crime came from outside, are you implying that maybe the crime was committed by a fellow patient or someone from the staff?
And anything is possible. What I'm saying is that, as I read in my statement, as soon as we discovered this, the lifeless body of the late Mr. Kinyua, we did what we are required to do as an institution, to invite the relevant government agency, and we did not interfere with the crime scene. And the DCI came in and worked on the scene from that day, Friday, yesterday, and I think even as we speak today, they have not concluded. We removed ourselves from the investigation process, and we do not want to speculate on what might have happened. I just wanted to state the fact that it is not known to us whether the threat was from outside or from within. Anything is possible.
Just to emphasize on what your colleague was asking, straight to the point, were the CCTV cameras working happy?
Yes, we have CCTV cameras in most of our areas. Let me mention that CCTV cameras are not trained on the individual cubicles of patients because of privacy issues, data protection. So they cover only common areas, the corridors and the open spaces. And yes, the answer is that the CCTV cameras were working, and right now as we speak, the clips are, or the footages are with the DCI.
Okay, I have a question. I'm Daniel from the Daily Nation. Now, given that this is not the first time you're handling a case of this nature, what does your policy say about, rather walk us through what the policy says from this point to the next stages, especially when a patient dies in your care in this manner? Two, one would still wonder how a patient would be murdered in that manner where there's a nursing station. Please convince KNH that this is just an accident or maybe there was nothing sinister.
This is a crime. Murder is a crime most fall, and our mandate is to provide clinical care dealing with the various diseases. As you know, we are a specialized hospital. We've had one previous murder before in the over 100 years of KNH's existence, and as I said, we learned from that first incident. When this happens, we are required to first and foremost invite the DCI to take charge of investigation, because murder is a complex, very complex crime, and we do not have the mandate or capacity as a medical institution to take over investigations. When this is concluded eventually, and we hope this will be done sooner rather than later, we will be able to review again our policies, especially in terms of threats. But in terms of how we handled the scene after discovery of the lifeless body of the late person, we did according to our protocol in terms of securing, stopping anyone from interfering with the crime scene, calling the most competent government agency to take over the investigations. And we wait in anticipation for the outcome of that investigation.
My name is Kinyua from Gilbert. Perhaps I'm seeking clarity on how many patients were there in the same ward as the deceased, and also can you provide us clarity on the ward rounds that were done between the intervals after the time was discovered?
Yeah, we had about 54 patients on the night that were handed over to the night shift. We have a protocol for doing rounds, which involves administering medicines and attending to patient needs and doing what we call vital signs monitoring. And these are scheduled for the routine ones are every 3 hours, but various patients have different needs. There are those who need more frequent visitation by the nursing team. On that night, on the night of the said event, this was done. This protocol was followed. To do around, administer their medicines for 9 in the evening. Their vital signs to be taken at midnight. Their vital signs to be taken at 3 a.m. and their medicines to be given at 6 a.m. At the same time, the nurses respond to patient calls and attend to the various needs. We have a record of all the patients and what their needs are. And as I said earlier, these are patients with nervous system disorders, meaning that a good number of them are in total nursing care and they need to be changed and to be fed and to be turned. And this was followed to the letter.
My name is Marie from KBC. So just a little bit of clarification again. You said that so far nothing has been seen on the CCTV cameras in the sense of if there's an intruder. Is that an admission that the CCTV cameras are not working? That's my first question. My second question is the 2015 incident is still not concluded. Could it be because there's no evidence from the hospital to fight that up for us? And what confidence should we have, or parents should have, that even this will be completed, just for their confidence and safety? And the third question is, so what are you doing right now? You said you've enhanced, security. What does that mean in terms of the people following?
With respect to the 2015 incidents, let me stress again that it is a matter in court, and I think you understand what that means. That it is sub judice for me to try to delve into it. The hospital cooperated fully with the investigating agencies. Just like in this case, we handed over the matter and we cooperated fully. In terms of cooperation, it means we provide all the information that is asked for by the DCI. In terms of whether we know what happened in these particular incidents, as I said earlier, as early as 7 a.m., in less than an hour since the discovery of the body of the deceased person, the DCI were on site and took over our CCTV control room. As you understand, we were probably considered as an interested party, and therefore we would not be allowed to continue having access to the DCI in order to not to interfere with the investigations. So we were not able, and we were also told not to begin to speculate, because the most competent persons to analyze footages are the DCI, and that is the correct position right now. And I said in our statement that we are not going to tell you that we think we know who did this or what, because we have a government agency that is allowed by law to run with this process until it's concluded, and to finally take the culprit or culprits to court. And when that happens, whether it is an internal person or an external person, the hospital is bound by law to cooperate fully.
And the enhancement of security?
Enhancement of security means that we have redeployed some, we have made internal changes. As you can see, our entry points are very many. This is a hospital that serves also the University of Nairobi, which has several thousand students and faculty members. It serves the Kenya Medical Training Center, which has several thousand students that for whom this institution was established to serve. And then virtually every patient has 2 or 3 or more visitors at a go. As we speak right now, there are thousands and thousands of people. We have redeployed more officers to entry points, and this can be verified. We have limited, for example, entry to Ward 7B right now, while it's still a crime scene. Respecting also that in the same ward we have patients, the rest of the patients that still need care and need visitation by their family members. So we're sensitive to their needs while we are taking care of the rest of the hospital. We have engaged the National Police Service right now to also enhance their presence on the compound, and we are looking long term, because this threat is very hard to predict. The interval between the last one and this one was 10 years, and it took us by surprise. It was the first one, and we've never healed from the incident of 2015.
So, Dr.
Yes.
Riding on that point, what does it say? Kenyans want to know, what does it say about the safety and security of patients if you've had 2 brutal murders in 10 years?
It is a very sad situation. I'm not trying in any way to say that any murder, whether it is 1 in 100 years or 50 years, is acceptable. And we have expressed this very clearly in our statement, that we are deeply saddened. We are recognizing now, as time goes by, that a new threat, other than disease, is coming on the fore. Something for which we are not trained primarily is becoming an issue that has to be escalated, not just in Kenyatta, but across the healthcare ecosystem in the country.
Does the hospital assume even the slightest responsibility for these happenings? Because surely, yes, you treat diseases, but these are patients entrusted in your care. Do you take any measure of responsibility, both of the first incident and this one?
We
just a follow-up to that one so that you can answer both of them. Perhaps you can take us through the day-to-day routine of the security checks. How many security units do you have? And do you use people coming in with their weapons with them? What does it look like a day-to-day security checks?
Yeah, we do. We frisk visitors. We have metal detectors. We ask staff to provide their IDs, and we frisk the bags as well. And as I said, the numbers can be overwhelming at any one time, but we do our very best. To answer your question, I think somebody asked, we have over 380 guards, internal and others who are an outsourced service, and they are deployed accordingly, depending on the needs of the various parts of the hospital. Your question about responsibility is that when something like this happens, you feel it as an institution. So it is wrong for us to state that we don't feel anything. We're saying that we are deeply saddened means that, yes, we know the person was in our care, and he lost his life to some individual that we are yet to identify. And in simple words, That is like saying, yes, we lost him in our care. And that is a statement in itself, that we are extremely distressed that this happened while we held him in our hands.
Two last questions. Okay, I have one. Last question. Now, this script in so many ways looks familiar to the 2015 one. How would Kenyans believe that this is something different? Two, how does KNH envision the end of this? Because you never put too many years in the course now. How do you look at the end? How will you look at it?
That's really speculative. If we have handed it over to the DCI, over whom we have no control, and we have offered our full cooperation right from the start, and we know that the investigation process is actually not complete. In fact, we are aware that they will be back again tomorrow for more processing of the scene. And then we know what follows after that, probably going to the crime lab and doing analysis and so forth. I want to state in short that the trajectory of the investigation is fully in the hands of the DCI, and our role as a hospital is to provide all information that will be required of us.
The last one. When the statement came in on Friday from the hospital, that was too many hours down the line, but the statement was so scant, didn't have much information about what had happened.
Yes, we've received we've received those sentiments, but our answer is that at that point in time, which were around mid-morning, we were still in the process of handling the family. In fact, as I signed that statement, the family had just arrived in the ward. And you know that the worst thing you can do is to circulate information before the next of kin is traced. So while I was signing that, we were balancing the two, the need to communicate promptly and to respect the wishes of the family. And we balanced the two in that manner. At that point in time, we did not even have permission to say his name. And we were not going to do that until we had taken the family through the process. And we have done. We are satisfied that up to this point, we're handling them the best way possible. And that's why we've come today to provide a more detailed statement. And as I said at the beginning of my statement, we have received their permission to do this now in this manner, where we have provided more details than we could have done within the first about 4 or 5 hours on Friday since it happened.
Also, apart from the psychological support, is there any other form of compensation that the family will get?
That is, we are not at that point right now, and our role, our processes with respect to handling all patients that come in, admitted, treated, and those discharged, and if one passes on under whatever circumstances, are well spelled out in our policies. And I want to state that we have actually not gone to a point where we'll be discussing that matter, because there are many things remaining, including post-mortem, which is probably be done in the course of the week. And at some point, the family will want to go and rest their loved one, and we will be present to help them throughout. And yeah, that's a kind of support that the hospital gives.
But also when you say that your job is just to hand over the information that the DCI needs, after that you're not involved at all, but here KNH stands accused of medical negligence. So you have some part to play even if the investigations go on. And what is the occupation of the guy who was murdered, if at all you know that?
We know that he was a trader. I think the wife yesterday addressed one of the media houses which are here. I saw in the evening news. He was a trader. I think he was dealing with water, and he fell ill from early last year and has had a very difficult journey through his this illness, and has been attended to in Kenyatta Hospital even before admission. What happened actually is, I mean, his murder in the ward is a criminal criminal matter. Medical negligence is under the purview of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council. That is when we are in terms of when we are administering medication, in terms of diagnosis and treatment. Whenever we make mistakes in that manner, complainants take us to the council, who will demand certain information from us. Clearly, this is a case of murder. As I said, as we started the evening on Thursday, the patient was taking his medication, and no alarms were recorded until this murder happened. And we have expressed our extreme distress by this fact. It is a list that any medical staff will expect to encounter in the morning when they come to work. It's actually the very, very least of the bottom of our daily concerns. We worry about the patient, but this one is usually a complete shock. And this is our second time to experience this, and I have stated that the hospital has been shaken to its core.
Perhaps the last one, Dr. on the CCTV, the very last one, perhaps, yes. Maybe you can take us through how the CCTV works, and the last maybe captured images of the CCTV. Is it right now, is it working? Because we thought that it was expanding.
The CCTVs are working, and as I stated earlier, we invited the DCI to remove ourselves from possible accusation of tampering. We have seen in the wider society, from time to time, people are accused of tampering or switching off CCTVs to cover evidence. We were very conscious of this fact, and we actually told the DCI to take over the process, take over our control room where the CCTV control is done, and it is in their hands even as we speak today. But as we...
Just a clarification, Mr. CEO. When was the last time we had a CCTV capture at Kenyatta National Hospital? Maybe the date and the time. Thank you. And maybe to ride on that, how many nurses were there, because it was a 50 capacity ward? How many
54.
Nurses, 54. How many nurses were there, and how many nurses were at the station during that evening?
There are 4 nurses on duty. There is 1 station in the ward. The shape of the ward is L-shaped. When you go in, you can see the nurse's desk from the entrance. From where the nurses sit, they can see this corridor and this corridor. And that is where they manage the ward from, and they are dispatched to the various rooms according to the allocation of duties. In terms of CCTV, I want to repeat what I have said before, that we removed ourselves from analysis of the CCTV cameras. If I was to tell you today that we saw someone at this hour and this hour, it would not really make any sense. I would not be in a position to say who that person was. We're in a hospital with thousands of people, and we usually have a lot of activity, a lot of movement.
Not the person that you saw, but the time. You said that the CCTV was not recording at the time the incident took place.
No, I did not say that. I did not say the CCTV was not recording. I said the CCTV, the relevant CCTV footages for that level and that word were taken over by DCI, and I have not said that there's any which was not recorded, unless it's information that may have come from outside sources that we would not take responsibility for. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll go back. Oh. No one has asked me in Kiswahili.
Oh, Swahili. The Swahili version.
But it will be will it be the same duration?
CCTV is currently running.
Amjambo wanahabari, tunawakaribisha Kenyatta National Hospital kwa minajili ya kujibu ama kutoa hii taarifa kuhusu yaliyojiri kwa jambo linalohusiana na kifo cha Bwana Gilbert Kinyua Muthoni ambaye alikuwa mgonjwa katika hospitali yetu. Ningependa kusema kwamba ninapotoa hii taarifa wakati huu tuko na idhini ya familia ya Mr. Kinyua kufichua majina yake na pia kufichua mambo fulani kuhusu hali yake ya afya. Tumepewa hiyo idhini. Ningependa pia kupitisha rambirambi zetu za dhati kutoka Kenyatta Hospital kwa ujumla, wafanyakazi na wasimamizi wa hospitali kuhusiana na tukio hili ambalo ni la kushtukisha na kushangaza na pia kuhuzunisha. Ningependa kusema kwamba Bwana Kinyua alipokelewa Kenyatta National Hospital tarehe 11 mwezi wa 12 mwaka uliopita wa 2024 akiwa ametumwa kutoka hospitali ya St. Mary's Lang'ata kwa minajili ya kupata matibabu ya kitaalamu hapa hospitali yetu ya Kenyatta. Na alipofika tuliweza kumkagua kikamilifu na kuweza kutathmini hali yake, na ilibainika kwamba wakati amepokelewa Kenyatta National Hospital alikuwa amepata vidonda katika sehemu kadha za mwili zinazotokana na hali ya kuwa mgonjwa kwa muda mrefu na kutoweza kujihudumia wala kujipindua wakati amelala kitandani, na ni vidonda tunavyoita pressure sores kwa kizungu. Zaidi ya haya tuliweza kubaini kwamba amekuwa mgonjwa kwa muda mrefu tangu mapema mwaka uliopita, akiugua ugonjwa ambao unaathiri mfumo wa neva ya mwili wake ama nervous system, ambayo iliweza kusababisha kupooza kwa mikono na miguu. Na wakati tulikuwa tunamhudumia alikuwa anahitaji huduma ya masaa 24 kwa siku. Hivi ni kusema kwamba hakuwa na uwezo wa kujihudumia mwenyewe. Na zaidi ya hayo alikuwa anahitaji hata usaidizi katika mambo yake yote ya kila siku, pamoja na kulishwa, ili kwamba alikuwa amewekewa tube kupitia kwa pua lake hadi kwa tumbo, ili awe analishwa kila masaa 3 na wahudumu. Siku hii tunayozungumzia leo ni kwamba ilikuwa siku ya kawaida kwetu kama wahudumu wa hospitali, na wafanyakazi wa zamu wa usiku walifika mahala hapo wadi 7B na kupokezwa wagonjwa wote wa siku hiyo na watu wa zamu ya mchana. Watu wa mchana wakaondoka na watu wa usiku manasi wahudumu 4 ambao ni walikuwa 4 siku hiyo waliweza kupokea wagonjwa na kuanza matibabu yao. Na kwa mfumo na utaratibu wetu wagonjwa wanahudumiwa kila masaa 3. Saa 3 ya usiku, saa 6 ya usiku, saa 9 ya alfajiri na saa 12 pia ya alfajiri, wakipokezwa dawa zao pamoja pia na kupimwa vipimo muhimu ambavyo hupimwa kwa kila mgonjwa kila wakati, ikiwemo blood pressure, temperature na kadhalika. Na wakati huu wote hakukuwa na hali yoyote ya kuzua wasiwasi tangu wafanyakazi walipofika hadi wakati mwili wa marehemu ulipogunduliwa mapema asubuhi Ijumaa tarehe 6. Nikiguzia hilo jambo zaidi ni kwamba wakati nurse alipoenda kumhudumia asubuhi mnamo takriban saa 12 asubuhi. Aliweza kuona mara moja kwamba huyo mwathiriwa alikuwa amefunikwa na blanketi kwa uso wake, na akagundua kwamba hiyo blanketi ilikuwa na damu juu yake, na hapo akapatwa na wasiwasi kuhusu ni kitu gani kinaweza kuwa kimetokea. Alipomfunua uso, aliweza kuona kwamba huyu mtu ameaga dunia. Alipomfunua zaidi, akagundua kwamba mwathiriwa ana jeraha la kukatwa kwa shingo, na hapo akaweza kujua kwamba kuna kitu kibaya kimetokea, na kulingana na utaratibu wetu mara moja akaweza kuripoti hilo jambo kwa wenzake waliokuwa kwa ward. Akaweza kuita maafisa wa usalama wa ndani na pia maafisa wa usalama wa polisi na DCI na hospitali nzima ikajulishwa, uongozi wa hospitali ukajulishwa kwamba jambo hilo limetokea. Kutokana na utaratibu tulioweka, jambo kama hilo ama jambo linakaribiana na hilo linapotokezea, na ikiwa kuna uwezekano wa uhalifu wa jinai kama vile kulivyo wakati huu, ni kwamba lazima tupokeze jukumu la ukaguzi kwa maafisa wa serikali, na ninaongelea juu ya DCI, idara ya upelelezi wa jinai wa serikali. Na kwa hivyo waliweza kufika mara moja kwa muda usiozidi saa moja, na wakachukua hiyo wadi nzima kama ni sehemu ya ukaguzi wa jinai. Na sisi kama hospitali tukaweza kushirikiana na maafisa wa polisi kikamilifu kwa kuwa tayari kutoa taarifa zote na kuweza kukuwa nao hadi tamati. Wacha nirudie jambo moja kwamba baada ya kubaini kifo cha marehemu, jukumu letu la kwanza siku hiyo ilikuwa ni kutafuta familia yake ili waweze kusikia hili jambo kutoka sisi na wala sio kutoka kwa watu wengine. Kwa hivyo tulichukua muda tukawapigia simu kutumia namba zilizowekwa katika sajili ya mgonjwa hospitali, na tukaweza kumpata mke wake na ndugu yake, na wakaweza kufika hospitali kati ya saa 4 na saa 5, na tukawachukua katika hali ya kuweza kuwapokeza habari hiyo mbaya, na pia kuwapitisha katika mfumo wa ushauri nasaha ama counseling, na hiyo imeendelea tangu Ijumaa, na hata jana pia tumeweza kuwa na familia nzima, na tunaendelea kutembea nao katika hiyo safari ngumu ya kuweza kukabiliana na jambo hili ambalo linazidi hata mawazo ya mtu wa kawaida, kwamba mgonjwa ameweza kupoteza maisha yake kwa hospitali kwa kupitia hiyo njia. So kwa kifupi, wanahabari, ninasema kwamba kufikia tulivyo sasa hivi, hospitali bado inashirikiana na DCI kuwapatia taarifa zote ili waweze kutumia mbinu na namna zao zote kuweza kutusaidia kujua ni nani ama ni watu gani waliweza kutekeleza uhalifu huu. Asanteni sana.